In a season filled with vitamins and lasers, one ability shines above all. At least we hope so. We got crystal critters yesterday, and we're using them mainly to clear mines for lasers, but also distract other buildings for super warriors. So try and take good advantage of that, but most of our attacks have super warriors as a main focus. Today we picked up troop health, troop damage. Both should really help both lasers and warriors. Plus, got an 80% increase in shock mines. Too bad we can't hide 18 shock mines, but at least we did a decent job. Pretty much all of them are just around engines trying to counter those super warriors. But we're gonna try this kind of base and see how good it is. Before we'll show one attack on a base we saw yesterday, because what we did yesterday on this one was first kill this engine, and then just take lasers from the right side, work all the way around. But I think it's better now just to ignore this engine completely, and right away go from the right side. Again, Kavan first, so he's in the middle, he can pop his shield. Here we just did one drone for those mines because we're not really doing drones anywhere else. And you can avoid all these bunkers in the bottom. Just throw super warriors on the flotties because they have a very tiny blind spot. And then the lasers work on the top side. As you accumulate more GB, you can do more super warriors on the bottom. And in fact, we had enough to do all three of these engines. We can do crystal critters on shock mines just to keep boom cannon distracted. And I think we only used one shock in this whole attack, just on that one. Any leftover GB gets to drones, help out the super warriors. But at least on that style base, here's how we hit it. And we might face a lot more people with some more defense, or ones without much like this guy. Now, he doesn't have too many defenses, but he's already at that 150 building damage, so just keep in mind that our super warriors might die a bit sooner. Especially on these boom cannons right here. We'll still do one super warrior for each one, but I mean with our extra troop health, maybe it's fine. Still going from the right side, at some point flare maybe this machine gun here, and see how it goes. Start again Kavan and all the troops a bit on the right side, just to make sure he's in the middle, and he can do a shield on everyone. So something like this, get a shield right away, and on that first flotty, can go ahead throw a shock. Here we already have the GB to do 3 super warriors, just enough. So as you get there, again it should be fine because we're direct targeting each of those cannons. And I guess we'll do another shield, even right now, because I've noticed sometimes Kavan likes to lag behind. We actually don't even have to fully take down this engine, and already start flaring because once this one goes down, let's do a super warrior. Get one going on this side, and even for that cannon, guess we can do a drone. Otherwise we flare this machine gun here, lasers, warriors all going there, even some super guys on the left side. And now use some crystal critters just to clear some shock mines. Bottom one looks okay, we'll wait a few more seconds on this middle engine, and then just flare the last one. Super warriors might take a bit more time, so guess we didn't really need those drones. But either way, getting a 258 seems pretty okay. Especially on these bases without shock launchers, mines, a lot of buildings. Now we can try being super fast, take them down. And I guess there's still 5 engines out in the world, but this one might be the nastiest one we've ever saw. Max rockets, bunkers on this side. So we could try like last time. It does seem a bit too difficult to warrior this side. You know, I think we can still try it. Just because we do one super warrior on the top cannon, one in this bottom one, and then it's just a one-shot repeat. Because that way we can do like most of our abilities, in fact all of our troops on the left side, and see how it goes. We'll take an extra warrior, in fact maybe even 4. Do one right away for those 2 mortars, while we do crystal critters on this side, and then just keep on going left. So let's do 1 warrior first, hit maybe 2 crystal critters with a couple smokes, just because you know they're going to go right, so want to make sure they're protected. As the warriors get that down, we'll do maybe Kavan and at least those warriors first, wait a few seconds, then get the lasers going. Can do maybe 1 shield right away, and I guess we're going to do 2 super warriors with just enough GB for 1 shock. So get that shot going. Kevon barely keeping those warriors alive. But now we got Dr. Vitamin. Maybe do one more shield. And does suck lasers hit a shock mine, but I think most of these other guys should stay alive. Got some super warriors. And because the left is fine, now we can start doing super warriors on this left side. Get 2 going right here. Maybe even a crystal crit for that shock mine. And really need some shocks on that middle stuff. So get a shock going right now. And it will take some time because super warriors do take a while. But now we have 190 troop damage, so shouldn't be long until engines die. In fact, we can even do maybe like 2 drones either side. It only takes like what, maybe 10 seconds max, both engines dying super fast. And even though it's slow with 240, these 5 engines don't have a ton of offense. But hey, if you're a 5 engine with everything, I mean, you do you. Looks like on this guy, I mean it's only by a few seconds, but still I think the overall attack wasn't too bad. Because when you watch the replay again, it is just more warriors because the only 3 lasers can still get the job done. 5 engines have a max of 50 building health, so 190 troop damage does quite a lot. The main benefit is just crystal critters. 2 of them clear pretty much all the mines if we're ever going to start the attack. But 1 warrior for that mortar right there. And then crystal critters do their thing, clear pretty much every mine. Except that 1 shock mine. Hate that shock mine. But then you want to do some super warriors on those bunkers. And then just a couple of Kevon shields keep them alive. Because as long as lasers survive long enough, that's all you really need. They deal with everything else, Kevon, Dr. Vitamin, keeping them alive. And like we said, even just 2 super warriors on the right side can get those 2 engines down. Sure, maybe there's still ways to be 5-10 seconds faster, but as we get more defense, don't think it matters on 5 engines. And that's also enough for 22 getting that chest. Now, we'll touch a bit on next steps soon, but we do want to start getting a little bit of defense. Because even though we have shock launchers and normal mines, we still can benefit from some other things. 2 main ones we're going to get next is 1 bunkers. Because putting Grens in bunkers still does quite a lot against lasers. Especially at a point where we're using lasers for most of the base and only super warriors for 1 or 2 engines. So every time we have bunkers, then people are forced to use super warriors just to keep lasers alive. And the other thing we're going to get is critter launchers, because they also help against super warriors. And then GB. We'd rather get this stuff now just to make hits a bit easier, our base a bit stronger. Because it is a lot of keys to get to building health and maybe melons. We have 40 keys for building damage, 50 for building health. And I know people are tired of chest collecting for so long, so we can have some fun right now. But since we're just short of bunkers, we can still do some more attacks. And as far as the next big offense we want to get, it's still deciding between melons or Rudy. I did a stream earlier today to sort of compare the two, but am leaning towards melons and just easier type of attacks. Because essentially, even on this base, if you have melons, you flitter a few on the left side, then drop stuff on the right, and that's pretty much it. Only got to worry about boom cannon, shock launchers, and clear the entire base. And the best part, they don't got to worry about bunkers. But this is a common base right now for lasers, which I like an attack going right from the middle. Will only take 2 warriors this time. And essentially it's down the middle, go a little on one side, and then just super warrior to finish that off, and then further left. So we can drop everyone right here. Still got a shield going right away. And already we can do maybe like 1 super warrior on that bunker, goes behind on that flame. Just letting these guys clear everything. But then pretty soon, do a flare, add a little bit on this side, because you want to start getting some damage on the right. Can go ahead and shock this Flotty, do a few super warriors just on the far right, and as you clear a few buildings, maybe wait a few seconds, 1 more shield, and then do 1 flare on the left side. Because now we have enough super warriors over here, 1 more on that engine. And here just crystal crits on I guess, distracting from those bunkers, and letting these guys finish up everything. And maybe do one more crystal crits on those mines, and follow it up with a bunch of drones. But warriors work in the top right one, lasers over here. I don't know why we flared, I mean it was looking great as is. But last few engines, getting 3 minutes. This is one attack that I think works pretty well, because even though you're not using super warriors only for engines, you're just supporting your troops and getting value anyways. So we can watch that one more time. There's a problem with only going on one side and then trying to super warrior the other, is people have so many cannons over here, or maybe the right is easier but still pretty difficult. Whereas if you just go from the middle, it's a bit easier on what you can use GB for. Because usually you go from the right side, just a little GB, so one shield, one shock. But then start doing super warriors as damage is being dealt. And once you know the boom cannons are taken care of, you can just flare on the left side. Because most of those buildings are down, so super warriors finish it off. Whereas your main troops on the left side finish off everything. Even if there's mines, I mean all the lasers still got the shield going. Not to say it's a bad base, but now we have a way to counter it. And other than melons, other potential offense is going 7 engine and Rudy. Now even if Rudy is a lot better, we can't really afford it because we already picked Kavan. So it's mainly thinking, is 7 engines worth it? But I think even if it's marginally better, we already spent so many days waiting for super warriors. Might be again more fun just to keep on getting tech, even making a strong push at the end of the season, still at 6 engines. But we'll still wait a few days and see what's better. Now this guy has 150 building health, so things are going to take a bit longer, but still do the same kind of attack. Get Kavan everyone on this side, shield right away. Here we can do 3 super warriors, and just 1 shock on the Flotty. Wish the warriors would get that shock mine, is going to hit a few lasers, but maybe not too terrible. You can see already buildings taking a bit longer to go down. And I don't know what Kavan is doing, but if he goes closer, can pop in maybe 1 more shield. And I guess even crystal craters for those mines. We do want to flare a bit sooner because at some point just do a super warrior. Because the faster we have stuff on the right side, better it's going to be. We'll do 1 more super warrior in the bottom. It's going to take a little bit of time. And then these warriors, lasers, Lottie is a bit annoying. I was going to do a shock but can't really afford it anymore. Just gotta do, again, crystal crits, clearing all of that stuff. And then pretty soon just start flaring. We'll do a drone on this side. And then flaring that last engine, a few more drones. It's gonna be pretty tight. You can see it's slower because he has that extra building health. But still getting 248. Don't hate the time. But we'll see what he gets on us. Maybe it's not only building health, he could have melons already. And 3 minutes is a really fast time. So let's check out what he did. And here's a good way to see the power of melons. Because sure we don't have so much defense, but just 3 boats on this side, 5 over there. And again, the melons can outrange pretty much everything. Don't care about any flotties, even the boom cannon shock launchers. He sends 1 shock on the right side and that's really it. Because there's less GB supporting on troops, you can do just way more on super warriors. So if melons can get 3 minutes, we'll probably change to that other style base of 3 on the right, 3 on the left. And one way to sort of counter them is by having a base where you can't take much value of just all their range. Plus, when we get bunkers and crater launchers, it's also tougher to use super warriors. And that's our next big unlocks. The other option is also just right away rushing to melons. It will take about 3 days, but I think it's still more fun to rank up right now. And by doing that, again, we're going to get bunkers, crater launchers, and GB. But right now, we got crystal critters, super warriors doing great things for us, and pretty happy with them. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.